you asked me why people should even care about it.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. When we first started, everybody thought it was all about latency. And latency is super important, but again, there's so many shades of it. It's not just average latency, it's tail latency. It's
Yep.
jitter, it's
Yep.
data sovereignty, it's the cost of transit, it's data gravity, it's security, it's a lot of things. But for all intents and purposes, what we mean by edge is taking the IT resources, the compute, the data, the storage, the networking, and moving it as close to the point of data creation or consumption. And that could be the car, it could be a phone, it could be a robotic arm, it could be an IoT device, it could be a medical device, it could be
Yep.
whatever we want. And I think that definition holds across all the continuum of edge.
No, I really think it does. And the only, because I've used, I think we've talked and had similar discussions on that definition, and I agree with it. And the only thing that I would add for people to think about as an overlap definition is that realistically, your edge is where the support the business model.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, right. So everything you said, completely accurate, with the perspective of, well, you can get it 10 feet from the car if the supply chain of products and services that make up that opportunity are affordable, get it to within. Otherwise, maybe it's 20 feet, or maybe it's a mile, or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Maybe it supports a different business model. I totally agree with that. And so, as we develop edge, I continue to get struck by other people even providing bigger stories about edge than I would. And I've been chasing edge, like Cole, like you, have been in this market for longer than most people have considered edge even as a thing. And I've grown to believe that the edge market, the future of the edge marketplace, is equivalent or better than the original creation and use of the internet, right? From an opportunity standpoint. So what does that mean? We already spend hundreds of billions of dollars in building infrastructure and data center and networks today. Do you think it's a real opportunity that 10 years from now we could be thinking about edge as a $500 billion industry?
Well, yes, I do, but let me put a potentially controversial caveat on that I think pretty soon, and I would say certainly the next 5 years, but maybe even faster, the edge is just going to become part of the internet. We're going to stop talking about edge. The reason we talk about edge today is because we have to create and invent and deploy a bunch of new technologies and potentially some new business models. I mean, Edgevana is a new business model. Vapor.io is a new business model.
Right.
So that's all in process, and so we need a way to talk about this different thing that's happening. But eventually, it's just we're going to create these layers of abstractions that are going to make it much more consumable for the average developer, the average enterprise, and it's just going to be the internet. So while I do think, yes, this is the fastest growing, most important extension of the internet that we're seeing right now, it's just that next evolution of something we've been watching happening for 30 years. We just need something to call it right now while we're all converging around it.